Lawyers keep asking, can I trust this AI tool with my client data? And honestly, it depends on at least 4 very specific questions. Now, I've been talking with folks like Hillary Bowman from Querius and Jonathan Watson from Clio, and longtime legal tech leaders like Ed Walters, and they all seem to agree. These are the questions you need to ask your AI providers before bringing them into your firm. So let's dig into it. First, find out what data your AI tool is trained on. Not all data is created equal, and if it's trained on random internet data, your results will reflect that.
But the issue here is that I asked a question that has an actual answer, and the tool isn't made to answer the question. And in this case, the lawyer says, can you give me precedents that stand for this point of law? To a large language model trained on the World Wide Web, of all things. A source full of misinformation and racism and bias
Massive
and trolls.
Bias. Right. Instead, look for AI tools that are trained on legal specific data, or better yet, your firm's own data, and make sure that that information is accurate and up to date. Garbage in, garbage out still applies with AI. You know that moment when you type a client name or a case detail into a chatbot? That's a prompt, and it might be stored, reviewed, or even used for training later.
AI is much more important to understand, again, where is my data being transmitted to? Where is it stored at rest? What is happening to the queries that I'm putting into that? Are those being used to train more general models?
The gold standard, no storage, encrypted in transit, and not being used for training. Some platforms will let the engineers or their partners see your input. Now, that's a deal breaker for many firms.
We use private instances of large language models. We don't use an API. And we've also, tested the models and ensured that they don't train based on attorney and client data. So our tools are not self-learning.
Ask directly who has access and under what circumstances. Most AI tools aren't built from scratch. They're built on top of someone else's AI, often OpenAI or Anthropic.
In terms of whether or not that helps you in interacting with AI, it's a good baseline, but it's not the whole thing.
So even if the vendor says they don't train on your data, double check what the upstream provider does. Look, you don't need to be a cybersecurity expert to ask these questions. You just need to be direct and expect clear, confident answers. Ask what data it's trained on, what happens to your prompts, who sees them, and what third parties are in the mix. If they pass that test, great. If they don't, maybe don't let them into your firm.